Problem with Ozempic is that it works too well. Imagine losing weight simply because you're not hungry. Imagine suddenly disliking the taste of your favorite junk food and preferring healthy, low-calorie foods instead, because your brain itself has literally been rewired. That's Ozempic.
I've never seen anything like Ozempic.
Okay, so let's get right into it as to why plastic surgeons, health food brands, and a bunch of other companies are about to have a huge surge in sales over the next 1 to 3 months here. My favorite specifically being in plastic surgeons. So let's start off on the macroeconomic factors first. Based off of this article, they say on average 14 pounds are lost using Ozempic every single month. And the average person that's typically on Ozempic, they usually are over 200 pounds, maybe really around 250 plus range. And when people start to need new types of demand purchases, they usually have to lose 50 pounds or more. Most people typically tend to take Ozempic during the winter time based off here. So the plastic surgeon industry or overall business model is they're usually very slow during the summer, but they're very busy during the winter. But we're going to see a little bit of a shift in the market this year because people, due to, I think they call it the Zoom dysmorphia syndrome. Yeah, that's exactly what it's called, Zoom dysmorphia syndrome, which essentially means that when people just start to look in the mirror more at themselves, it means that they want to make changes to their body. And what we're experiencing this year is we have had a little bit of a recession where people are not spending as much, they're spending more time inside, and at the same exact time, they're also opening up Ozempic to a lot more use cases, and a lot of people are just trying to almost fake results. I mean, I know you need type 2 diabetes to get it, but they're trying to really get Ozempic under the table in any other way they can, and it's all typically happening around the month of December to February. So then fast forward 50 pounds later, which let's say 10 pounds a month is lost on average, you need at least 50 pounds lost. I'm going to go a very delayed timeline here. So you start taking Ozempic in February, 50 pounds later, you're now in July. You're really going to start to see demand build up around August, September, definitely October, really that September line this year. That's going to make a huge difference. And just to prove my point further, look at the first quarter of 2025. It isn't just McDonald's and Taco Bell. All of these places have had a decrease in revenue, which means people are not eating out anymore. They are definitely losing weight. And we can see this because this is the first thing to hit. People stop eating out. That's the things that are keeping them with the weight on, essentially. So again, if we do the math, around September time, we should see a huge surge in all of these different companies when it comes to demand. And look, McDonald's and all these other places are literally changing their recipes because they found out that Ozempic makes you not addicted to food anymore. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to recreate all the recipes to try to re-addict you in other ways, trying to gain back their whole customer base. And not to mention, there's a very high probability that Ozempic and all of these drugs are about to get approved for a ton of other items. So essentially they're saying that it can cure addiction, it can cure, here let me check. They're also going to see if it can solve for Alzheimer's disease, as well as prevent weight loss, as well as a bunch of other trials. But we're going to start seeing an explosion of this coming out all at the same exact time, even if you need to throw in one extra point to the fire. And now this is why I like the plastic surgery industry the best. So INMD and a bunch of these other companies, they're usually internationally based, especially INMD. And just 2 days ago, they were bombed. And what that means is their stock crash or maybe supply chain issues. There can be a lot of problems going on there. So what does that mean? It means that skin tightening isn't just naturally solved. You need to get a surgery to fix it. And if all the cheaper skin tightening surgeries are out, the only thing that's left is going to be the expensive skin tightening surgeries. To add on one extra layer to it is people that typically use Ozempic and use Wegovy and all these other items, they don't want to, I'm not trying to be mean, but they just don't want to have to work for results. And you see that in their buying behavior. If they wanted to work hard for results, they wouldn't be taking Ozempic in the first place. They would have just gone to the gym, they would have eaten right and done everything the correct way. But it shows a buyer psychology. And again, I get it. I'm the same exact way. You want the easy way out. But that's a good thing in this situation because it means all these middle tier surgeries are either going to be filled up to the brim, or it's going to now force consumer demand to want to have to buy the more expensive items for skin tightening surgery. And again, they're going to want a simple fix for it because they already invested all this time, they invested all this money into looking good. They care a lot about their appearance. They're going to want to buy the skin tightening surgery. And of course, people are going to say, like, well, John, what about all the side effects that it can cause? Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people smoke cigarettes. They know it's bad for them. A lot of people drink alcohol. They know it's bad for them. People just don't care. People would rather have a happy life than have to worry about health 24/7. And considering that, again, if they were primarily eating at fast food restaurants to begin with, where they have that type of psychology that they didn't consider their health as a priority, odds are there's going to be a lot of people trying to get on Ozempic for this exact reason. Although, don't get me wrong, you can go blind. There is a lot of things wrong with it. I mean, it could not be you, especially as more research comes out about it, that essentially that people just need to eat more protein while they're doing it. And there's going to be a lot more safer ways to get off. I think we're going to see a large spike in that. Now, what else does that mean? We're going to start seeing extremely high protein sellable items that are going to be convenient. So anything that's extremely high protein that these people could want, maybe like not just protein bars, but it has to taste like good as a protein bar, but not good in a fast food way, good in the way that people's brains are adapting. Because again, people no longer crave fast food. They're going to want to crave these new items that taste healthy. So the first person to come out with anything that is related to all these symptoms, and again, we're going to see a huge spike in all these industries, it's going to be a blast. Now, I don't want to be all one-sided. I want to also factor in both sides. So in this scenario, for TikTok and Instagram especially, there's a lot of microcultures going around where people are seeing the sucked-in face a lot, and they're going to want to now fix it because of this reason. Another thing is we're seeing a lot of men entering into the market. Before, it was primarily for women, primarily new mothers, just a lot of things where there is some type of loose skin. But now, with men entering into the market, that is going to be insane. You're going to literally just double demand just by having men enter into the market. And now let's go over some of the negatives, but these can still be positives as well. So we ran Facebook ads for a lot of plastic surgeons in the past, and you're not allowed to run ads for this. But the good part about it is there are ways to get around it. So if you are able to make an ad, here you are with extremely low supply of plastic surgeons that are able to advertise with an incredibly high 3x demand that didn't exist just a year ago. So essentially, this is going to be a gold mine. I mean, Facebook and Instagram already worked previously with plastic surgeons, but now you add on these extra layers, it's going to explode. Especially because people from Texas and all these other areas, they're going to want to fly and physically transport themselves to where they can get the best surgery because that's their looks. They care a lot about it. And again, the only thing I could really calculate as a negative into here is that lower income brackets may not be able to afford this. But at the same exact time, again, let's go back to INMD. Their stock is all the way down. War just broke out. There isn't going to be a cheap, affordable option. So you're going to have artificially people that want to look good. They're going to have to pay the top tier price to get this stuff done. And then when that entire wave ends and then we start to exit this recession, logistics get better with Israel and all these other places, then you're going to have the other end of the market, the economy end, which is maybe the $1,000 to $4,000 range, which is still really good money. Now entering into this market because now they're going to be able to get it done. So with all these different things stacking up together, we're looking at a 3 to 5 year, potentially longer explosion within this industry. And worst case scenario, if the demand is not met, you could always just come out with a monthly treatment plan. And then that way you could still service all markets if you're willing to do that. So now it's like a rapid fire round. What are all the other brands and all the other products that are going to be able to ride this wave? So first of all is Lululemon. People that maybe want a immediate fix to look good in some yoga shorts that give you that instant skin tightening over the skin, those types of products are going to explode. Exercise shoes like Nike. Remember, this is physically changing people's brain patterns, which is amazing. It's going to make people to want to exercise more at the same time. It could be a little bit contradictory because I just said earlier that people want simple fixes. But just out of, say, 100%, even if you gather a small 10% or 20% field of people that now have their brain chemistry change to want to exercise because they're going to want to stay healthy, that's going to be a huge boost in that industry. Items like Dexcom for glucose monitoring, or Garmin or Whoop for physical health tracking whenever people are walking. Any types of protein brands. People need protein, otherwise they're going to go blind. Cookware is also going to increase because people are no longer eating out. That now means they're eating at home. Creatine or any other supplements that help you not lose muscle and also prevent blindness or osteoporosis. Some of the markets they're probably hitting now are probably some of the skin tightening, more on the cream side. They're a little bit of a cheaper option, but it's just for this minor carryover until the skin tightening becomes more severe. Well, the need for it becomes more severe. Strength training kits, anything again to help preserve that muscle. Positivity therapy, that's going to be probably a very fast growing field. So what's the difference between positivity therapy and regular therapy? Well, regular therapy is you go in and you just kind of talk more about your problems. Sometimes they're just very downer conversations. There's a lot of statistics that say we have too much therapy in America. And what's going to happen is these drugs make you very null. So people are going to need therapy, but to have a lot of excitement when they are using this as a therapy. And last but not least, anything that is impulse friendly. These people that are taking Ozempic had high impulse on eating. They have a high impulse on wanting a quick fix, and they're going to get so excited about them losing weight and their progress. They're probably going to have a lot of small impulse buys, such as a weight loss tracking sheet, anything that you can just provide as an extra value. So how do you guys get ahead of all this? So if you guys need help with any of this, you want to rank on Facebook and actually get approved. You want to rank on ChatGPT, so when people are talking to ChatGPT, tell them about their problems, and you want to pop up as the answer. People are Googling things. You need help with any of these ways to get customers for any of these products. Just go to my website, GenLogic AI, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.